Right guys, it's going to be a 1080 Master Nightfall solo on a Titan getting the Platinum rank during the double loot week. This isn't per se a farm video because the run's 28 minutes, so it's not so much a farm solo so much, but it's a run with different types of weapons. Okay? So, as for weapons, what we're using the Wisp and Slab, a kinetic bow with Archer's Tempo and Voidwall Weapon, which works well on champions because Voidwall Weapon works on champions. Then we're using a Solar Pulse Rifle, Adhoritive, which was available during the season of Undying. Can't get it now, but I think there's other pulse rifles you can get. If not, I'm not really aware of what is available 2.0 solar pulse rifle wise, but that's fine. Just use the either the solar raid hand cannon or Trust. Anyone can get Trust just from Gambit. Just something that, you know, either a pulse or a hand cannon that can take unstoppable. And obviously it's going to be a solar weapon as well. And we're using the exotic sniper rifle Darci. Reason is just because I haven't used it in ages. So I had a look at my collections. I was looking down. I wanted to fill a arc heavy. As for we'll use Darci since a lot of this fight is from like long distance, or you can play it that way. So I just thought to see how it would react in a Master Nightfall. As for weapons, as for armor, sorry, it's the same as always with me. Prioritizing weapon perks. So since I'm double primary sniper, sniper rifle ammo is real important. So I've got sniper rifle ammo finders on, scavenger perk on our boots. We have enhanced bow loader on because we've got a bow on. We've got a counter charge high energy fire build going. Every time we stun a champion, as always, same as like what I've done on the Warlock and the Hunter for that. Match games covered. We've got a Solar Pulse, Arc Heavy and Void subclass. There's only one Void shield in this. Bunch of Solar Shields and only 3 Arc. It's kind of weird, the spread of shields in this one. So, with this build, well, not so much a build, but the loadout itself, it's okay. It's not the best. It's not as good as the loadout I use with Devil's Ruin and a Arc Linear. The Arc Linear is better than this loadout, I would say. But it works out alright. It's just slow. It just ends up being real slow. So, we're just working on this sniper right here. It's going to be a bunch of Thrall that push us. We can use them for nade energy if we want, because we've got taken Armaments on. So the raid mods that we have on are taken Barrier, taken Armaments and taken Repurposing. Right here, what I just done there was both unstoppables pushed us, so we can control that by stopping whichever one we don't want to start damaging, then stop the one that you want to do DPS. So we splitted them up just a little bit. Just makes it a little easier, because we're not really using close quarter weapons or a sword. So we deal with them from range because of our loadout, of course. I'm going to save on ammo here a bit. You can see that the target is lit up red. That's because he's been overloaded. Doesn't mean that he's been stopped, but it means he does less damage output than what he usually would. Which you can do that to all sort of targets, I believe. Also, what I've done there is I used my wall to negate the shield bash. So walls, towering, barricades especially. The rally barricade kinda can when you duck behind it, but more consistent with the towering. But you can negate boss stomps and all sorts of things. That's why I've got towering on, and we have it on for the end as well. Not only that, on our armor we have enhanced bomber, so if we're not getting a finisher kill for whatever reason, and we're popping our shield, we get grenade energy every time we do that with enhanced bomber. It needs to be a solar class item. We also have the exotic chest plate on Crest of Alpha Lupi, which I always utilise this exotic when there's no health regen, like modifiers like Attrition, what's on now, and Togetherness. You can utilise other health regen exotics However, I really like Crest because it's in your control. You need at least a tier 8 resilience stat. Now, we're not doing it for the resilience stat itself, but what's paired with the resilience stat is that your barricade is paired to that. Meaning you get more walls the higher your resilience. So if you have a tier 8, I believe that's I think it's a 17-second cooldown or so. Something like that. And basically a wall lasts 20 seconds. 17 seconds might be tier 9. Off the top of my head, you just need tier 8 minimum. Just take it like that. Okay? There's no exact. If you can get 100% resilience, do it. But it's, like I said, it's not essential. Now we're going to do a nade here first, and then we're going to use our super. They are solar shields, but we try to negate it a little bit by using the nade for oppressive darkness to debuff them. And just getting those 2 captains down helps out. The captains on this are the most annoying enemy type. More annoying than the champions. The champions can be controlled. The captains not so much. Depending on what you're heavy, like if you have a solar heavy, like Sleeper Simulant or even Devil's Ruin, right? You can get that shield break, get that stun right off the bat. A solar primary can't do this. Okay? It takes time, and that time you're ripping down that shield, that captain just keeps teleporting. It makes them awkward. So right now we are separating the champions again. It looks risky, but it's actually not. Because obviously I've got my wall up and we're planning to do that. I didn't intend to come right back here, but worked out. We're going to get a nade kill on a champ. Just because our heavy's low. Lowish. In total, without reserves, Darci holds 26 bullets, which is quite a lot. It's not so bad for ammo. The snipers just need a slight buff. If you start buffing them too much, they become meta. So it's either they're meta or they're subpar. But they need to give them a buff, maybe a blanket buff. I don't know though. I don't know how much for PvE. Okay, so now we're going to deal with the rest of the ads. Both champions are down. As you saw there, I controlled the champions. They will keep following you. You can back up to the very start of this Nightfall, and the champions, if they see you, they'll still engage with you. However, if you lose line of sight, they won't. They'll eventually back up to this area right here. So we have the modifier, the armor mod taken repurposing. Every time we break a shield, we get our grenade back. So we're utilising that farm in the night, the captain for that. This captain ends up being annoying, just with the amount of teleports he's doing. Like I said, definitely the most annoying enemy in the Nightfall. He got me super weak there, so that's something that's me making a mistake. Don't get too close to them. That was just me being impatient. The best way probably would have been to go left, all the way left. Okay, that's the mistake I made. Which I end up doing so. The roundabout here, he's less likely to go behind cover, and you can get that shield break and then take him down. So around that area is going to be better if there's one captain up like that. So now we'll take down our final blight. We're going to have 2 overload champions with a arc shielded phalanx. So Darci will take care of that. A couple of ads spawning with it as well. A couple of all. We deal with this systematically like everything else. We take down the brawl and the major first. We don't even deal with the overloads. Yeah? Use cover, like right here, so that they can't see you. Then once you've dealt with the ads, you can then start dealing with both overloads. Even though they're in a pair, it's not so bad. You can have it so that the right side one isn't even shooting me. The left one wants to shoot me, but I keep strafing in out of covers. It's confusing the AI of the champion. Okay? Makes it super consistent. Used a bit of Darci ammo as well just to speed it up and also to showcase the weapon. Okay, because this is mainly what the video is for, to see how an old exotic, you know, that's underutilized right now, not used, rightly so, but to see how it actually performs in game. Not that it's bad, not a bad weapon, it's just it's not worth the exotic slot. Not when a legendary grenade launcher, right, can out DPS it way more. I would never use this in Prophecy, okay, because it's just poor. Other dungeons not so bad, but Prophecy, it does terrible damage, take or kill. Why? Shouldn't be the case. You should be rewarded for precision damage no matter what, even if it's a linear, no matter what. But we got some ammo there, we're going to skip this room, no need to do it. We're going to go to the final platform. We'll try and deal some damage to that arc shield because it's match game, remember, but when we need to pop super we go for that. Any longer the captain could melt us. I probably didn't need to do that. You probably could just use a super and take the captain regardless, just because of the code of the commander, how good it is, which is military. Now we have another 2 set of champions. These are the 2 unstartables. They ain't bad. There's always an exit. So if I go back to the previous room, all the ads despawn. So the 2 solar knights that we skipped, the thrall, they all despawn when you get to these champions. So now we've just created a safe haven behind us. If we do get weak, I think I do get weak here for example, I could have backed all the way back. But obviously I've got a wall, so. Okay, now we're going to use a finisher. Get our grenade back. We're using Void Wall over Magnetic. The only reason is for the final boss. For the boss room. It's just better for that. I really like Magnetic though, and that's probably my primary choice of grenade. But Void Wall's really good in certain instances, and it actually does more damage than Magnetic. But I still prefer Magnetic for my playstyle, generally. But for this, like you can see, taking out waves of ads, Void Wall, it spreads out more of the detonators, so it's better for ad clear. But not so much for high value targets if they're going to step out your nade. That's where I prefer the Magnetic. But regardless, I would advise putting on Void Wall, especially for the final boss, which will come clear when we get to it. I'm going to do another Void Wall here to clear out some of these Scions. We're going to keep some of them alive, and we're going to farm up ammo off them, since we need to use a bit of Darci yet to come. That's what I like about Crest of Alpha Lupi. It suits my playstyle because I can play aggressive in something where there's no health regen, and I always have a backup plan with the wall, providing I've got it. But like I said, One Eye Mask can do you, but that requires for the whole perk to activate and whatnot. There's something to hit you to then kill the enemy to then get the overshield, whereas popping a wall's an instant. It's like a mini rift if you think, but it's just a small health bump and not constant health regen. But you can hide behind the wall and stuff, and they're really good in PvE. They're not bad when you're in end game content. Okay, so there's a couple of Scions below us. We'll just take them out before I start dealing with these champions. Like I said in previous videos on Lake of Shadows or any Overload, when any video concern an Overload champion, you can take them out with a bow only, as you can see. Especially if you've got a Vorpal bow, they deal a lot of damage. Okay, so now we'll use the wall there to get some more grenade energy for some more heavy, as we need to take out the Solar Knight on the other side. There's 2 more champions, but before we take those champions we want to take out the Knight. It's a solar shield, and we have a long range weapon on for it. You could do it with a hand cannon as well, as the Knight doesn't really have any cover. He'll try and hide behind the 2 boxes, but his head sort of pokes out, so you can always get some shots on the shield. We'll get our shield break, and then we can get Then we can use Darci to take him. He loves to teleport though. Once we've dealt with that, make sure we're full health before skipping. Like, not skipping them, but getting past them. We're not skipping the champions, but we're using a different angle, which is way better than the other side. It's all about the angle, really. And that's the main thing. From here, we can stop as well the champion as many times as we want. The unstoppable, at least. So we could basically primary both of these champions down if we were low and heavy, but obviously we've got armaments, so we don't have to do that. That's the unstoppable down. Now we'll use our bow. I didn't want to really use too much heavy, so I think we just killed this champion with the bow only. The thing is, it's super safe because if you just keep doing this, you'll never enrage the champion. Whereas if you're using heavy and you use it at the wrong time, which is easily done, you will enrage the champion, and if that happens, you've got to be careful and keep an eye on your health. Now we're finished with that room, we're approaching next room. One champion to deal with, which isn't a problem. It's the Solar Knights for my loadout. But first we'll take care of all the ads. As if you don't, the champion's just going to keep getting tethered. Meaning you can't really progress. So you need to take out all ads. Do that first, then we can deal with the unstoppable. I will say that this loadout that I have on isn't something that you should be farming with. It's just something, like I said, that I'm showcasing an exotic that doesn't get much use. If you want to farm this Nightfall, there's alternative loadouts to use that would be more optimal. This isn't optimal, but it's different. That's what it's for. Gotta finish a kill. I was hoping he would be lower health than that, but okay. Try and get a nade kill on him. So now, with the Solar Knights, there's 3 Solar Knights here. Only 2 of them need to be took out. But they can be a pain. This can be a pain. This was probably the most awkward part. Again, coming down to Knights and Captains. They're just the most annoying AI. If you've got a soul heavy, not so, or something to instantly take their shield, not so much. But like I said, when you're primary and a shield, they're just gonna keep, in this instance, getting sprayed, and the attrition's on, so that doesn't help. The champion just went up left, which we kept an eye on and noticed. If we hadn't noticed that, 2 snipes, and we would have died there. So keep an eye on the champion as well. That was peculiar and doesn't usually happen. They usually stick together, the champion, the Overlord champion and the Knight, they usually stick together, but they're separated up there. So what we're doing now is we are retreating to wait to find a better angle. Also waiting for health regen as well. We need to be maxed to sort of deal with this. I'm going to try and get a shield break, then we do our nade, and then retreat. Because what's happening here is, like I said earlier, Overlord champions can enrage, and the champion is enraging because the Knight is hiding behind the champion, meaning my shots are hitting the champion while hitting the Knight, making it annoying. But we'll get through it. Again, just waiting for the angle. Up another wall for health. We're gonna wait for the next angle. I believe we end up getting the Knight very soon. Do a nade there, kind of risky, but should be enough to take him. Like I said, this is probably the only most inconsistent part of the whole run. Everything else is pretty much straightforward. The Knight's finishable, so what we're going to plan to do, because both the Overlord and the Knight have split up again, Doesn't usually happen on my runs, but it did. We've got our finisher, and then we can take the overload. Get our final stun, do a bit of heavy, just to get out of this room. Wasted a lot of my time, but okay. We have saved the super as well. There's our first void shield of the whole thing. Only a wizard. We're going to use the super for that bit because we want to skip all this stuff. And we use the super. Take out the wizard. Once that's done, you can skip all the goblins unless you want heavy off them, but there's plenty of opportunities to get heavy from now until the boss room. We're going to try and group up the thrall, get a melee so that the void detonators spread as much as possible. Okay, so now we're on to our final 3 overloads. Not much to say. I mean, it's the same as what we've been dealing with them for all the Nightfall. Like I say, a bow. That's why I've got the bow on. I could have just put Voidwall Grenade on and then maybe utilise a special weapon, which is not really needed. Double primary heavy will do you. And the bow's just too good not to put on. Okay, so we'll clear out all the adds in that room, then we can deal with the last final 2 overloads. It's important that on your last overload you get charged with light ×2. So basically I've only got on counter charge and high energy fire. I haven't got stacks on stacks, and I haven't got like the new solar mods, supercharge, all that stuff. I haven't got none of that on. It's just high energy fire counter charge, but you can get charged with light ×2. Whether that's intended or not, I don't think so. I think I should only be getting ×1, but it's something in the game, so we'll do it. So basically, if we stagger, you know, every time we stagger a champion, we're getting a stack with light, but it maxes out at ×2. But if we keep hold of that, we can use that for boss damage. That's an extra 20% damage buff right there, which stacks with Oppressive Darkness. So we can do that. So we're waiting up top to get the solar shield break on the knight. We'll do a nade here as well, just to have max heavy for the boss fight. Obviously we're not going to be fighting the boss down here with these weapons. With attrition on as well, it's just not something that would be decent, so we won't be doing that. We'll be just doing the ledge trick, which I'm sure most people know it by now. When you get your blight kill, you want to come to this rock. There's multiple ways of getting up, but I like to come to this one and onto this pipe here, jump as high as possible and then sort of loop round and on the ledge. As you can see, we're charged with light as the weapon's glowing. Fine. We did not lose our charge with light. This is important as well. We didn't lose charge with light from the adds because we killed them with melee ability. We killed them with abilities, i.e. grenade, melee. Charge with light, you only lose it if you say kill an enemy with your gun. That's why the gun's lighting up. But that's a very important detail, because if I'd killed the brawl, that's 20% damage lost. Now I'm going to do nade kills, but the nade kills again, they're going to ensure that I still have charge with light, but I'm getting kills. So we're reducing the amount of flinch we're getting from down below. Stuff like that. Also, Crest of Alpha Lupi is ideal, because if we're weak, attrition's on. We can just get our health back like that. Also, we'll get health back off void kills, like so. We can also, because we've got taken repurpose on, we can farm our nade back off the knight. I mean, we've pretty much got our nade back anyways, because of military. but it's there. That option is there. And then from here we can just, like I say, snipe the boss. Still got charge of light, as you can see. So we're getting that 20% damage buff. Very important not to, like I say, shoot any of the ads. Or kill them at least. Now, with attrition being on, it says obviously you don't get health regen, but you do get health regen after so long. It's around 20 seconds or so. Which, funnily enough, that's how long a tower and barricade lasts, right? That's why we've got towering on. So this is actually a safer strat. Because we're up here a long time, not like, say, for example, we've where we used Line in the Sand, or we've used, or in previous weeks, Xenophage, or any high decent weapon where you're going to be up here for maybe a minute, 2 minutes. I'm up here for quite a long time. Okay, so the tower and barricade helps out that way. I know we can't shoot through the wall. I know there's exotic gauntlets that can help you do that, but we're not going to get health regen. But it works out because we can always get our health regen. Because Darci, like I say, it struggles to get, even with Charge of Light, it struggles to get great damage out. It's still okay. It's not so bad. By the latter end of the fight, the boss can tether you from up here as well, which stops you from doing certain abilities, and you can't jump. So, if you get tethered, best thing to do is just sort of stand still, or back up, sort of edge back. There's this ledge, there's not so much room, but you can sort of crouch at the very back of it, and none of the heads can hit you so much. So there's a lot of that. But basically, we can have infinite heavy here, as you saw. Every time I get my nades, I can farm that, taking Captain, taking Knight, sorry, with his Solar Shield, to keep getting our nade back. If there's plenty of ads, we'll get our nade back anyways, because of the Void Detonators. But at this point, we just want to finish the boss off, because it's pretty much weak. As you saw, I got the double loot there, not so bad, Worm God, take the roll on it, but that was the 1080 Master Nightfall. Getting the Platinum rank without any Pinnacle weapon. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.